This is the continuation of the tutorial about the steering wheels. The first part of this tutorial is in www.macrotutorials.com, but let me show you another wheel. The second wheel that we found at the beginning is the full navigation mini wheel. This wheel have the same tools than the wheel what I just showed you. The difference is the size and the user interface. This is smaller, and the tools are arranged like pieces of a pie. Like the other wheel, this is pretty simple to use. You can move up and down. You can pan the view. You can use the look tool to rotate the view around you and use the arrow key to walk. You can orbit around the defined pivot. You can change the location of the pivot. You can zoom in or zoom out. You can walk through the scene and pressing the shift key, you can move you up and down. 2. You can use the rewind tool to visualize previous viewpoints. Well, the third option in steering wheels is the view object mini wheel. This wheel contains only 4 tools: pan, orbit, zoom, and rewind, and works in the same way than the previous wheel. As you can see, this wheel is focused in the tools for navigate the scene when you are working with an object. The next wheel is the tour building mini wheel. This wheel contains 4 tools: up, down, look, walk, and rewind. Present an interface that looks too like a pie in pieces. The way it works is the same that I just showed you, and these tools are very useful in projects like an architectural simulation, video game level design or similar projects where it's important to walk through the scene. The other 2 wheels are the wheels for people who are just beginning to work with 3D. The first one is the view object wheel. That contains 4 tools: center, zoom, rewind, and orbit. But this have another user interface. This is not a mini wheel, this is bigger, but works the same way as I showed before. The last wheel is the tour building wheel. Here we found 4 tools: up, down, rewind, look, and a new one: forward. When you make click in this tool, the mouse pointer changes to a horizontal sliding bar. And if you move the mouse up, the image is enlarged, is like zoom in. And if you move the mouse down, the image shrink again, like zooming out. In the right side of the big wheels, we find 2 buttons. The first one is just to close the wheel, this one. Remember to start the steering wheel again, just press in the keyboard Shift and W. The second shows a menu with these options. The first 3 are to select the mini wheels. With this you select the full navigation wheel, and here appears 2 wheels more. With this you can restore the default view in the active viewport, like the home button in the view cube. This too, increase or decrease the walk speed. As you can move the pivot, this helps you to restore the pivot at the original center. In other words, this moves the pivot to the point 0, 0, 0. This is the help of 3D Studio Max for the steering wheels. And this open the window to configure the different options for the steering wheels. But, exist other way to access to this configuration window. One way is making right click in the button at maximized viewport toggle and select the tab of steering wheels. Other way to visualize this window is making click on views in the main toolbar. And in steering wheels appears this options. This is like pressing Shift and W in the keyboard. All these are to select between the different options of wheels. And at the bottom, if you click and configure, you can configure the steering wheels. It's possible to change the size and the opacity of the large wheels into the mini wheels. Invert the vertical axis. This makes them when you use the walk tool doesn't changes your distance to the ground. And this regulates your speed. This is for zoom in a bit, just clicking the zoom tool. With this one use the orbit tool. And if you have an object selected, so you rotates around the object. This tool for show the messages when use the tools. And this is to show the message for select different wheels when you start the program. And making click in the OK button. You apply the changes.